Bless up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining. Finding inner peace. I posted something. I don't even remember how long ago it was. It probably about a month and a half ago. I asked people to give feedback on some things they wanted to hear. So this topic of finding inner peace was one of the suggestions. So with that said, today I'm going to share what I found helps me find inner peace. So this is I asked a lot of people this question. And as you're watching this, you could type in the comments, welcome for joining. You could type in comments, what does peace mean? So I was going around and I was asking people this question constantly. I was like, well, like that. Tell me, give me an idea. What does peace mean to you? And I'm going to write that in here. What does peace mean to you? Now, when I was asking people this question, there were two common themes that kept coming up. One was flexibility, and the other was internal. So when I was really reflecting on this and really just digesting all the comments that I was hearing, I was then starting to think about my own definition of peace. And it was the same. The thing was the same. Yes, it has to be flexible because the situations around me and within me will constantly change. So I could have peace at one moment, but I could be without peace the next. So then I started to process, well, okay, well, what's inner peace? And this got me thinking about the definition, as I just mentioned, but more about the application of having inner peace. So after doing a lot of thought and just like researching about like more within, like really looking at, well, how would I get to peace? And for me, I recognize peace is a mental game. You may agree, disagree. For me, peace is a mental game. Like whatever is going on around me, my mind is going to help me be the calm in the storm. So to help me refine that, I went back to something called the Hermetic principles. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, what the heck is the Hermetic principles? Well, I got that. I got that for you. And actually, you know what? I even have slides. Look at this. I got slides. You didn't think Yep. Look at that. First, this is peace. This is what peace is by the definition is freedom from dispute or dissension between individuals or groups. The one I'm going to focus on is the mental calm and the serenity, and just free from any disputes internally or externally. Now, what is Hermeticism? Bless up to my guy Ivy. He's the guy. He's the first person to really introduce me to Hermetics. And basically, it's the study of philosophy and magic. And the whole concept or the principles of Hermeticism were said to be created by this gentleman, Hermes Trismegistus. He is basically he's said to be he is a man, but like they've called him a god because a lot of these universal principles apply to all things. So when I started really diving into Hermeticism, they have this principle that says all is mind, which basically the concept says that everything tangible and intangible is a product of the mind. So thinking about this, and if everything that is tangible and intangible is a result of the mind, then that means that peace is a result of the mind, in my thinking. So what I started really looking into is diving into this concept of all is mind. And then it brought me to this book. I was listening to it, and then they brought up this book by Franz Barden called The Initiation of Hermetics. Now, this is where I got these three principles. And these three principles that I got here for you, this will be a great way for you to find inner peace. Okay. These are three practices. Three practices. So here goes. This first practice that we have to finding inner peace is thought control. Okay. Thought control. What the hell does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thought control is controlling the flow of your thoughts. So there's something called contemplative prayer, which basically means you sit like you're in your meditation, and whatever thoughts come, you allow them to come and go. This is the beauty of thought control. When I was researching, or when this came up in the initiation of hermetics, this is a practice that actually, this practice alone is a part of the three parts that I'm going to give you. But this practice alone took me about 2 weeks, and to really refine. Here's how you do it. Thoughts, close your eyes, and I want you to observe the thoughts that are coming to you. And do your best to observe them. Just notice them, be mindful of them, and at the same time, be free of getting attached to them. All right. Now this is a very this is the base. What can happen in thought control and why this helps to find peace is peace can be disturbed when we get distracted. Okay. When we're focused on one thing and then all of a sudden, oh, squirrel, 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 squirrel. So thought control is giving us the opportunity to practice allowing thoughts to come and go. This portion of this practice to finding your inner peace, or this practice to finding your inner peace, is about becoming an observer to your thoughts. All right. Be detached from them. How does this contribute to inner peace? Well, whenever you feel calm, if something happens in your life that takes you out of the calm, you're lacking thought control. When you have thought control and you're at peace, something's going to come at you and you could observe, okay, listen, this is happening. You observe it, you acknowledge it, and then you set it free. Okay, great, thanks. And then you come back to your peace. All right. This is a practice. So practice starts to practice small. Notice, have a journal by you, have a journal with you, like, whatever, by your bed, or start this in the morning when you wake up. Take 5 minutes, get your timer, and observe first how many thoughts are coming to you, the types of thoughts. Start noticing those types of things as you're going through. Yeah, another book I need to read. Yeah, Brian, yeah, get up on this, my dude. Yeah, this book is on another level. So thought control, right? So being able to monitor like what thoughts are coming, what thoughts are going. Now, here, once you've done that, like that in itself could be your practice. You could you could stay there, all right? And now, as you stay there, do 5 minutes. Once 5 minutes gets easy, you could do the whole 5 minutes. Go to 6, go to 7, go to 8. They say in the book like the average is 10 minutes, but go longer than that, because what this does, this helps you to filter distractions. Okay, this helps you to just allow them to come and go and free of being attached to them. The next one that we got, my friend, is thought discipline. What? Thought discipline. Now this one was difficult for me. This one was difficult. Like when I first started doing this one, this lasted literally about 2 minutes. Now the concept behind, and I'm going to take this banner off here. The concept behind thought discipline is you focus your thoughts on one thing. One thing. That's it. You focus your thoughts on one thing. This is why this was a great one to practice inner peace. Our inner peace can be disturbed, very similar to what we were talking about with thought control. Our inner peace can be disturbed when we go from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. Part of the beauty of focus and intention is that you can keep your attention on one thing at a time. Now, this is when this really became evident that it was time for me to work on thought discipline. Think of when you're at work. How many times are you doing a task and you take yourself away from that task to do something else? Then now the something else can be your phone. It could be looking something up on a website. whatever the task is, can you stay on that task until it's complete? Right? Can you stay away from your phone and social media for a certain period of time? Truth be told, for me, it was like I needed something to distract myself. It was like it was tough for me to focus on one thing. So with thought discipline, the beautiful thing is you focus on the one thing. And my invitation to you is, if you're using this to find peace, focus on something that's an object first. Like focus on something I like, an object in a room. Now I got this journal, the hoot hoot, the whom. Okay. Now I'm focusing on this thing. I want to look at all the feathers, the gold, the picture, everything. Focus on this thing as intently as I can for a certain period of time. What's the reason you do this, Paul? I'm glad you asked. Because now, if you're able to do this with your eyes open, again, focusing on only this thing for 5 minutes, now, what you do is you close your eyes, you bring a picture into your mind. The picture that you bring into your mind is maybe a vision that you have. Maybe it's a relationship that you want to have in your life. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's finances. Whatever it is for you, bring that into your mind. Bring that scenario into your mind and keep disciplined and locked in on it for a period of time. Okay. What's the reason for that? Again, this is training your mind to focus on one thing. How this relates to inner peace: when you can focus on one thing, you become that thing. You become a frequency with it, which means that you become at peace. Everything is synchronous, it's in alignment. All right. This is how thought discipline works. All right. Any questions you can put in there, like I'll answer as best as I can. But I'm providing these 3 tips and practices to you because if you could choose one of these, you're gonna be in a good space, and you're gonna be able to maintain peace even when everything around you is complete shit. All right. So next one that we got, my friends, is mastery of thought. Now this one is, should being transparent here. This is the mastery of thought. This is like the third level. Okay. We started off with the thought control, which was the base level. Then we moved on up like the Jeffersons to the thoughts of discipline, or to thought discipline. And now we have the mastery of thought. Now I want you to think about this. Like as I bring this piece of this presentation back up, you notice how there are words here? The words are in black and everything else around it is white. It's vacant. It's calm. That white is what you want your mind to be when it comes to mastery of thought. At this stage, you think of your mind as this blank, fertile space that's calm and still. With this still space, you're going to enforce any thought that tries to come into this white space here. I want your mind will create a border of fierce protectors that will rough up any thought that tries to come into this white space. All right. That's mastery of thought. That's keeping your mind still. Now, the distinction between the thought discipline and the mastery of thought is the thought discipline. You're focusing on one thing. This, you're focusing on no thing. Your mind is blank, it's crystal, it's calm. This creates a fertile space for intentions to be set, visions to be manifest. This is a very powerful space right here. That's why this you want to work up to this one. Again, the thought control is a very clear one that you can work with. Again, to refresh, all that is minding your thoughts. Become an observer of your thoughts. The next one is thought discipline. Thought discipline is you're focusing on one thing and one thing only. You're going to set your timer. You're going to set it for 5 minutes. If your focus goes off of that one thing, stop, record the time, start over. Start over. Okay. These things are training your mind, which in turn trains you to peace. Okay. Now this is something, this quote I wanted to extend to you because I think this is important. This really wraps this up well. Again, if you have any questions, you can either leave it in the chat if you're watching the replay, you can put in comments like this StreamYard thing is pretty damn cool, so I can see all the comments and stuff. Brian, thanks for the comment, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks those for watching. Appreciate you. So here's a quote. I want you to think about this, especially when it comes to what we talked about today, and all is mind. The law of mentalism. If you want to know more about that, read about it. It's a very powerful, it's a very potent universal law that I think everyone gets to recognize and acknowledge. So this is from a Hermetic elder, anonymous. He who grasps the truth of, thank you, Naftar, I appreciate you. He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path to mastery. All right. Well advanced on the path to mastery. Listen, I hope this helps you out. This was fun to do. My next one that I'm going to be doing is turning pain into peace. Wow. Yeah. Well, stay tuned for that one. That's going to be another live one. You'll see all the notices and stuff. Thank you for watching. If you have any feedback, let me know. Questions, let me know. Again, the book that I was referencing is The Initiation of Hermetics by Franz Barton. You see how far I've gotten in this, right? And I've been like, again, I'm not reading books in 2024. I'm studying these pieces. So, like, I've been chomping on this little bit right here for the past 2.5 months. So you see, it's a thick book, but listen, this ain't about reading. This is about studying. This is universal laws right here. Tip top stuff. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for watching. Until next time, I want to say adieu and thank you for joining. Peace.